Being able to see a heads-up display of information about your code is invaluable to save time when coding. Here you can see just above my classes and methods, there's a gray line with some information indicators. This is called CodeLens. If I look at the CodeLens for the forecast class, I can see that there are 7 references. Clicking on the 7 references link will open up all the references. As I hover over each one, you'll see that Visual Studio brings up 2 lines before and 2 lines after, so I can see the context of the reference. Next we have a username that'll show people that have changed this work item. So we can see Adam Barr created this, and we can see that Brian Keller has also made some changes. You'll see that the author column here is a hyperlink. If I click that, it'll actually open up a mail to. If I had link installed, it would open up instant messaging as well. Also, we can expand these change sets to see the work items that were associated with those change sets. And of course, double clicking will open up that work item. Next along, we can see just the list of all the change sets, very similar to the author's view. The next one indicator along shows work items that are associated with this piece of code, specifically bugs. The next one over is any work item that's not a bug, so here we can see a task was associated with this particular class, and we can see that there's one review that's been done against code changes in this class. And of course we can expand that and we can go and investigate the code review, see who requested it, who did the review, and so on. Also, I've got a class here where I've got a unit test against this method. Let me go up for a method that's got a unit test, and so you can see that there's actually a test indicator as well, telling me how many unit tests I have against a particular method and what the current status is of those unit tests. So here I can see that 1 of 1 tests is passed for this particular method. Clicking on that indicator will open up that test, and I can choose to run selected tests or hit run all to run all of the tests right from the method. So I never have to leave the method, and I can still initiate tests, unit tests for that particular method. There's also another indicator called peak. So let me find an example, a good example for peak. I'm going to come down here to the so let me go down to the service log entry repository insert or update method. Now if I want to see the code for this method, I could hit F12 to open up the file, but then I've left the context of where I was, right? So what I can do is I can hit Alt F12, and that'll open up the peak window, and here you can see it opens up a little window within my window, and that'll show me to the code. Now this is an interface, so I'm not going to be able to see too much interesting there, but if I scroll down here, you'll see that I'm actually in the CS file for the service log entry repository, and I can go down and I can actually go down and edit this code. Alright, so I could go here and start editing this code. So I'm going to add a comment there. If I want to promote this to a document, I can just hit this little icon in the top right, and that'll actually open up that document there, and I can start working on that document. But what is really nice about the peak is that I can see the code without having to leave the context of where the code is being called from.